time to engage funk.
Are we ready to engage funk?
Definitely time to engage funk overload.
Engage funk. Oh no!
No!
I've disengaged funk!
Disengaged!
It's alright.
So, we've been driving since 6 a.m. It's like
It's 8:30.
8:30 in the morning now. We left Bordeaux, France, like 2.5 hours ago. And just noticed that all the signs have turned into Spanish. Not a single sign anywhere that says we have entered Spain, but apparently we have now entered Spain.
According to Google Maps, we're in Spain now.
We're in Spain now. We can tell we're in Spain, but we didn't really notice because there was zero border checks. Zero.
It's nothing. It's just a road.
Literally nothing. It's just a road that went straight from France to Spain. So, yeah.
Pretty easy.
Living the vida loca.
Fuck's back. Fuck's back.
Just enjoying a nice afternoon stroll through this central park here in Salamanca,
Not
Spain.
Casablanca.
Not to be confused with Casablanca, which we have done a couple of times. We are not in Casablanca. We are in Salamanca. Totally different city. Is it a totally different country too?
I don't even know where Casablanca is.
All I know
I
is
don't even know if it's a real place. All I know is that it's
there's a movie made about it.
Yeah.
That's about all we know. This place is lovely. It's beautiful. This convent is just enormous. I can't quite describe to you guys how huge this feels. Standing right next to it is just
That's imposing, isn't it?
very imposing, overwhelming structure.
C'est magnifique.
Magnifique.
It's
Although we're
magnifico.
in Spain, so what is it?
It's magnifico.
It's Magnifico. There we go. It's huge. Come here for a minute. There was something I wanted to touch on because we had a brief conversation about this before. It was the idea of like you sometimes you can drive yourself insane thinking that you're possibly a madman when you don't think like the group.
So we're talking. Let's start with social pressure, though.
Yeah.
Because that's the key point. It's like everyone is affected by social pressure. Now, Stirling and I have practiced for a long time to be relatively immune to social pressure, but no matter how much you practice that,
Yeah.
as I was saying, so no matter how much you practice immunity to social pressure, it always affects you a bit.
On some level.
You never quite get over, because we're herd animals, we're naturally tribal creatures. So when you see everyone around you doing something all the time, everyone around you wearing masks all the time, if you're on your own, you can have a tendency, it's a real pressure to fit in, a pressure to do what everyone else is doing.
This doesn't just apply to the whole mask thing, this applies to everything.
Even if it's wrong, even if you know it's wrong, but you're still, you can still feel that tug to go along with it.
If everyone's doing it, you're going to feel pressure to go along with it.
Yeah. So then
And the important thing is to understand that the more you go against that grain, the more you fight against that feeling of submitting to social pressure, the stronger you will become as a man.
yeah, it really
The stronger
helps.
you're going to build your character.
Yeah, it really helps.
Millions of dollars are spent trying to sell guys get a bigger dick pills. Millions more, unfortunately, are spent by the poor saps that are fooled by that kind of internet marketing. Now, the idea of a magic pill is very seductive, but it takes real work to grow your penis. I should know because I actually did it. Took time, took consistent effort, but I did it. And I made sure I took photos to prove it, because I knew that everybody out there would be trying to say I'm lying, trying to say I'm bullshitting, trying to call me out. So the photos are out there on the internet to prove that I actually did it. Now, if you want to learn exactly how to grow your penis, no bullshit, no lies, no magic pills, no surgery, then get my ebook. And inside you'll also learn industry techniques and secrets that adult film stars like me use every day to get the job done. The sheer intricate detail on this. I mean, look at, here's the thing. So, there's parts of this at the top here, infinitely tiny detail at the top here, and on top of the spires and things. Some man dedicated countless hours of his time to making it look beautiful, and no one is ever going to see it up close. Do you have that kind of dedication to something in your life? Because you bloody well should, because somebody did that eons ago. So this thing behind me here is supposed to be some kind of Salamanca landmark. It's supposed to be a pig, but
I don't even know how you pick this up as a landmark. What even is that? That's not a pig.
I read it in some online guide. It was obviously very deceiving, because that is not a pig. That is a headless, amorphous body of some kind.
I'm not overwhelmed by this pig. I'm not even whelmed. I'm very underwhelmed.
Okay, there's not even enough whelm in this.
No, I'm zero whelm. Zero whelm.
No whelm whatsoever. Well, okay. This bridge, however, is pretty whelming.
I'm adequately whelmed by this bridge.
That's got a fair amount of whelm to it. I like the whelm.
Packs a hefty whelm.
I like the whelm on this bridge. Let's check it out.
Look at that. I like that.
This is actually quite beautiful out here.
8 out of 10 on the whelm scale. Well, 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
That's pretty high for a bridge.
That's quite high.
For a regular bridge.
And the river.
Okay, and the river, the whelming.
Cathedral next to it. It's the whole thing, the whole shebang.
7 whelms out of 10 whelms.
Well, the whelm scale does go up to 11.
Oh, obviously, yes. Yeah, okay, 7 out of 11 whelms. Cool. This gets a 9 out of 17.
9 out of 17.
9 out of 17 on the whelm scale.
So
This has to be the best looking service station
the Spanish know how to do service stations.
I have ever seen in my entire life.
They don't know how to do economy, but they do know how to do service stations.
No, okay. So I'd give that I'd give that an 8 out of 14 whelms.
Oh, I'd go for 8 out of 15 there. It's not that good.
So the thing to understand is that when you're surrounded by people who are all doing the exact same thing, there is a tremendous amount of social pressure to go along with that and to do that same thing as well, right? Even if it is batshit insane, even if it doesn't make any actual logical sense to be doing that.
Dude, I saw a really good example of this the other day. I saw a video where it's a test they did. You can look this up, it's called the Asher test, I think. And they have a board with these lines on, and there's a line, and then you've got to pick which line is the same length. And two of them are obviously different lengths, and one of them is obviously the same length. They got 5 people in the room, but they tell the test subject that they are all test subjects, but actually 4 of them are paid actors.
Yes.
And only one of them is a test subject. And they get all of the paid actors will point to the wrong line. So they'll say, okay, that, because I have to pick the one that's the same length. So they'll pick 2 like this. And when you can watch this test, it's on YouTube. And the first time round, the guy in the middle, who's the real subjects, is because he gets the first 2 say that one, and he's like, well, isn't it that one? And then the other 2 are like, no, it's this one. And then after just 1 or 2 times round, he just starts saying whatever the person
he just agrees
before
with
him
them.
says, even though you can look at the lines and they're clearly different lengths. The social pressure overrode his own inner knowledge of what was true.
There's another example of that. Darren Brown, the mentalist.
Oh yeah.
He does this really good one. He has a show where he convinces someone to like push a guy off a building. The guy doesn't die. It's like a staged thing. But one of the tests to see if someone would be compliant enough to push someone off a building, right? Let's go. We'll go this way. He had them come into a room with like same situation, like 4 or 5 other actors, and what would happen was a bell would ring every now and then, and the actors would stand up when the bell was rung, and when it was rung again, they would sit down.
Oh yeah.
And the subjects would come in, and they would initially be like confused, why is everyone standing up and sitting down? And then they would start going along with it, sitting down themselves.
This way.
And then what happened was they eventually took away all the actors and replaced all the actors with actual subjects. And everybody was doing it because the people who were there longer, the people there previously, just continued this conditioned response, this habit out of social pressure. So that goes to show, guys, like, take a look at your life right now and think about what things you are doing regularly that are purely based on social pressure.
Well, I think it's important to emphasize as well that this ability to resist social pressure is a muscle that you can develop. You can get better at this. It never completely goes away, but you can get much better at resisting that pull of social pressure to do something that is in conflict with your inner knowledge of what is true and what is right.
Yeah, and the stronger you make that muscle, the stronger you will become as a man.
Yeah, I would agree with that. One more thing as well, I also think that's why it's important to get around people that are also value the truth in the same way that you do, because it can really help you if you're just by yourself and you're the only one that's saying, okay, I see that this is true, but everyone else is saying this. You can start to question your own sanity, no matter how strong you are. Yeah. No matter how strong you are mentally, you will always eventually come to question yourself. So you've got to get around other men that you can bounce these ideas off and come to a truth through conversation, and then you can maintain. It's much easier that way.
Then you can freely express your ideas and values around. Yeah. That's the importance of building a tribe.
And the pressure goes away, because your social pressure to conform is actually where you're already in agreement with your tribal group. Yeah. So it doesn't matter what everyone else does.
And then you guys can not conform with everybody else. So we just had another run-in with, this time with some Spanish police.
Sterling's got to work on his impromptu camera work, because
I should have caught that.
It's a tragedy that we didn't catch this on camera.
Should have caught that on camera. They drove past us, and I was like, I saw it at the corner of my eye. I was like, all right, Tom, let's get the stupid tourist routine ready to go.
It's my classic. It's my get out of jail free card.
They pulled up back next to us, and they're like, hola. We're like, hola.
No, I didn't say hola. I said hello.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hello, how you doing? We don't speak Spanish.
I speak perfect Spanish.
This man speaks fluent Spanish.
You don't know that.
Eso sí es perfecto, gracias.
Entonces son
El chorizo,
los
el
tres.
pan y déjame la bolsita.
Ya, ok. Ese.
Esta me la dejo.
You don't know that.
And what were they saying? You can understand what they were saying in
I
Spanish.
can understand what they were saying. They were saying like, oh, these f***ing tourist idiots. This guy. How do I tell this guy how to get to the pharmacy so he can buy a mask? Because I was like, oh, sorry, we didn't know. No,
Where can we buy one?
Where can we go to buy a mask? And they was just like, oh God, how do you say kiosk? And he's like, oh yes, you go straight this way,
and then left.
You turn left.
And now we've turned right. If we run into him again, we can say, oh, you mean left?
Oh, you mean left? You're confused. Listen, here's the key takeaway from this when dealing with police.
I want to get this in the background.
Yeah,
this is really
great.
cool.
When dealing with police, generally speaking, you don't ever want to act scared. This is not they smell fear.
Don't act scared. Don't act angry.
You want to be super friendly, like over the top friendly,
like stupid
and
friendly,
a complete fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like that's how you need to be with the police, like a moron. And it's even better if you don't speak the same language, because they just can't be bothered. They'll show up. These guys barely speak English. They're like, oh God, this idiot. He doesn't even know that he's supposed to wear a mask, and I can't even explain it to him because he doesn't understand.
Just walking around with beaming smiles on our face.
And we were like, hello, how are you doing? We're tourists in Salamanca.
How you doing?
It's a nice day, isn't it? Just be really friendly and really fucking stupid. And they just can't. They just can't be bothered. They get so frustrated. They can't be bothered.
They don't have the time for this.
They're just like, oh God, these morons. All right, yeah, the mask that way. Just sort it out.
You know what? You know what's ironic? We've just come across a bunch of dudes skating who are also not wearing masks. Just here. Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. Enjoying the sunshine.
Can't be lost on camera though.
Too late.
I always know exactly where I am.
At all times. Well, good thing for you, I know exactly where I am. In the heart of Salamanca, in the Grand Plaza.
They have a real classic and recognizable style in Spain, don't they? If you look at this thing here with the bells on it, you can see actually this style in South America too, in towns.
Well, it makes sense, right? Because
they're
they
colonized.
colonized South America. But it's very distinct from the stuff we saw in France.
Isn't it different? It's funny, isn't it? Because we didn't
And it's
have-
only a few hundred miles away.
Yeah.
But
isn't
the
that
styles
strange?
are distinctly different.
Yeah.
And especially in the styles of the houses
The French is,
that we
the
drove
French
through in the
stuff
countryside.
Is, the French, yeah, the houses were
distinctly different.
The French buildings are much more Gothic looking. These are not. They don't have
Yeah.
Gothic buildings. In
Yeah, they don't have those like
Spanish.
the pointy spires they
They're
tended to
more-
have.
I don't know how you describe it, but it's a very distinct style, and you know it when you see it. I mean, you might see something like this in Mexico as well, even.
Maybe.
Yeah, you would. I think you would.
I've never been, so. But you definitely saw, there's definitely buildings like this in central Chile,
Yeah.
in central Argentina. Yeah, very much the same. Yeah, think about the frame of mind, the time scale to put something like this together.
Oh, this is so beautiful, and these kind of things are all over Europe. So think about, like, this wouldn't have been a 1 year or even a 1 decade project. This is a multi-decade, maybe even multi-century project to build something like this with this level of beauty. So think about that, and think about that in comparison to the buildings we build today. And the buildings we build are reflective of the culture and the mindset of the people that build them.
Short-term thinking.
So the people that built these were building something to last for centuries, and they knew that. They knew this, they were building something they wouldn't even enjoy in their lifetime. They just had a longer-term view and they were
I'll tell you what they were doing. They were building a legacy.
building a legacy. Was exactly what they were doing.
Are you?
Stirling. That's exactly right.
Are you building a legacy? Look all around us. There is just so many beautiful things surrounding us right now. But look at the lack of people here. There is no one here. So this is the reward you get for doing tourism on hard mode. You get all this beautiful stuff all to yourself.
You have to run away from the police, but
But
we're the
you,
only ones here.
with anyone's here. We're not
all
not
the-
crowding for photos or videos.
We've avoided the crowds of 500. Where are the 500 Instagram women now that are lining up to get their stupid selfie? Oh no, I have to stay at home. It's too dangerous.
The eat, pray, love crowd have disappeared.
Real brave of you doing that tourism when everyone was doing it and it was easy. Let's try to do some real tourism.
There's no Instagram boyfriends
Some
getting in the way.
I mean, we can get straight into the selfie spots.
Yeah,
No need to elbow aside the women.
no cues. This is just magnificent. This entire area that we're standing in. There's a bell tower up there.